Good morning, this is Jevon Perra with PerraLoans.com, and today I want to talk about stress that kills, eliminating the stress that kills, because the stress that's going to kill you is literally just a matter of your thinking. Now, maybe you're out there in a sales position like the real estate agents I talk to all the time. Maybe you're just doing life and you just have a lot of stress. It's interesting, that guy named Sigmund Freud, a famous thinker of the past, psychologist, he was talking about how everything comes from our orientation to sex and how we're always thinking about it, and it produces stuff in our life. And a guy named Carl Jung, who was also a psychologist, he kind of took it to a different, broader scope, and he took it to more spiritual. And by spiritual, he's thinking the thinking that we have, the stuff that isn't physical. And he noticed that patients that he had that couldn't swallow a situation in their life, so to speak, they would actually get throat disease, and they would literally not be able to swallow, even though they had no physical problems or obstructions in their throat. They couldn't swallow physically because they had a situation that they would be thinking, I just can't swallow this, or I can't take it. Or someone will have asthma problems or breathing problems. They literally can't breathe, and a lot of times they can't figure out why they can't breathe. But they would have something in their life, a rough home life, where they couldn't, the atmosphere at home, they couldn't take it in. And this thinking of, I can't take this in, I can't get it into my body, I gotta get away, but I'm stuck in it. It actually produce a physical breathing problem. Or maybe with someone with a stomach disease, where literally ulcers and pain in their abdomen are completely debilitating, causing actually other real diseases. But it comes from, I just can't stomach my life. This thought of, I can't stomach it. And these things that we think of over and over again actually will create ailments, disease, dis-ease, the opposite of ease, and it could kill you. Literally, the stress, the stress hormones that get produced will literally ravage the inside of your body. Cancer is produced just because thinking, hey, this is gonna kill me, this situation, my kids are hurt, my kids are gonna be in trouble, my work is not gonna work, I'm never gonna be able to make it. This thought over and over, I can't close the sale, they won't agree with me, they won't say yes, they won't sign the listing agreement, they won't give me the deal. All these thoughts over and over and over again literally will strangle you and kill you. So what do we do about this? Because I'm gonna guess that anybody in a sales position or anybody trying for anything substantial in life that you haven't ever done before, you're going to have these kind of things come up. Now, something I believe is awareness in and of itself is transformational. Meaning that if you become really aware of what's going on, now you have the tools to do something different. Since most of our life is automatic, you don't think about 99.9% of the things you do every day, which include all of your body's functions. It includes seeing, includes driving a car. Most of the stuff we're not even thinking about, it's just happening. And so those processes, they're coming a lot of times and being affected by your thinking, your awareness of what's going on. So here's something to think about. Be aware of your thoughts. Your thoughts matter, because you can't choose most of the stuff that's happening, but you can choose how you're going to think about it. A guy named Wayne Dyer, he said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I love that. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. You could easily go into a situation thinking, they're going to love me. They're going to do exactly what I ask them to do because whatever reason, because I know I'm going to help them get what they want. This sales meeting, this listing agreement, this buyer broker agreement, this contract for the big sale, this girl or guy that I want to marry, I want to go on a date with, whatever it is. If you're thinking they're going to love me, everything's going to change, and they're more likely to actually love you. You're more likely to go in and thinking they're going to love me. Your body positions change, the way you interact with them change, the tone of your voice change. You become more agreeable and more likable and more confident, and you actually make it so that they're more likely to love you. However, if the other opposite is true for you and you keep on focusing on, they're gonna hate me, they're gonna say no, I'm gonna fail, well, your body posture changes. You start to get closed off. You get shorter in your answer. You frantically try to get them to feel a certain way and overcome objections before they even happen, and overstepping and over talking or being too quiet, or all these things that you do when you don't believe it's going to work, and you actually bring about the rejection, you bring about the no. And so it's amazing what can happen with just some thought, just thinking about what you want instead of what you don't want, because what you look for, you will find. I found that to be true as well. What you look for, you're gonna find. There's a guy named Viktor Frankl, and this is him. Viktor was a psychologist, and he always thought, he was in Germany. He was a Jewish German, and he always thought that you were born the way you are, and you can't change that. And then the Nazis got him, and then they put him in a concentration camp because he was Jewish. And in this total place of death, where people were dying all around, where his family died right before his eyes or killed, he came up with a different thinking, and he ended up becoming what he called logotherapy. And it was that you imagine meaning into the seemingly horrible things that you have to go through. You imagine meaning to it. You give meaning to it. You say, this is great because, and so for example, Viktor told everyone around him, and he's like, listen, this is perfect for us because it's going to help equip us to help so many people years from now. Imagine standing in front of thousands of people saying, I survived the Nazi death camps because I was excited and so thankful that I can be here today, that you can get through whatever you're going through. And he would tell those stories to the people around him, and he would start to share food with his co-bunkers, the people that stay with him in his room and in his the concentration, the death camps. And you know, people are dying. You saw the picture of them from no food. People were dying, and he would share food, and he started to have a future benefit that made what he was doing right now have some meaning. And it was meaning that he assigned to it. And all of a sudden, he was able to free himself to not be so worried about death and just be in the moment. Be able to enjoy the companionship with someone else, a shared suffering, which is a crazy thing to think about, but there's a lot of joy that can come from a shared suffering, a lot of connection that can happen. People were able to notice and get joy from just a flower that they can see far away and just look and enjoy the beauty, being detached from all of this thing that had to be for them. So here's some steps to be able to free yourself from the stress that will kill you. And I get from Viktor Frankl and some other guys is that one thing is that mantras aren't enough. Having your thing that you say every day, I'm completely independent of the good or bad opinion of others, and I will win and I will succeed, and that's great. I mean, I love that stuff. But you have to have feeling, because your real feelings about something, whether you say one thing over and over, if you never feel, you ever feel that it's true, what happens is your body takes the feeling as true, and your words, it just totally gets rid of. It doesn't even matter. So feeling comes from really what you're focusing on. What's that result that you want? And just like Viktor Frankl would focus on that future time when he was able to help so many people, giving meaning to the pain of what he was currently in, you can focus on what you want for the future. So if you're into sales, what's the point of getting a sale? Is it you're going to get some kind of result, you're going to help your family? Well, focus on your wonderful family and be okay with the worst case scenario. As in, if everything falls apart, I'm going to be able to survive. And then release that necessity, like you need the sale. You don't need the sale. You don't need anybody to like you. Be freed from that. Be perfect in the moment and go in just being you and asking for what you want and focusing on what you want and being a blessing. That's your job. So go out, focus on what you want, free yourself from the need of any result, but always ask for what you want. And in the end, you'll be way more effective. I hope this is helpful. Get a hold of me, JevonPerraloans.com. Love to help you. Any financing or any other kind of thing in life. Thanks so much.